My mom told me that I've been sick since I was really, really small, but I wasn't ever afraid.
Daniel was born in '97. He seemed to be a healthy baby, but right after his birth, he got tuberculosis and had to undergo his first surgery. 10 days later, they found a virus that affected his liver, so he had another operation. 6 months later, he had complications. That's when we went to Hadassah. Professor Granot took care of him, and we left the hospital with a healthy baby.
When he was born, he was jaundiced, and he had to undergo surgery so the bile will flow out of his liver. Usually these kids are quite sick, and Daniel was one of my patients that were actually doing great.
When I was 9, I started feeling pain in my stomach. I told my parents and they took me to Hadassah. The doctors checked me and gave me ultrasound tests.
They told us the most awful thing a mother can imagine. Daniel had cancer in his liver. He needed a transplant. I felt like I had been punched. I couldn't think of anything but Daniel. What went through my head? Thank God we have Hadassah. That we have such great doctors we can trust. It wasn't the first time or the last time I thought that. I knew I wasn't alone.
The option to take it out of the liver was non-existent because it was too big, and if we take it out, then it would sacrifice both the liver and Daniel. So we decided to do liver transplant.
A few days later, they found a liver for me. It belonged to a boy named Aaron, who died in a bad fire at Male Adumim. This boy saved my life.
I meant to find an option in the States or in Europe to do a transplant because we don't have enough livers for kids in Israel. And I put him on the transplant list in the morning. 3 hours later, I got a phone call from the National Center for Transplant that we have a liver for him.
Dr. Steyer called my husband. He said they found a liver and Daniel had to be in the hospital in 2 hours. We made it in an hour and a half, and Daniel was made ready for surgery.
The doctors and the nurses at Hadassah saved my life.
I was so happy to see him alive. He opened his eyes for the first time and asked me for something to eat. "Mommy, I'm hungry," he said.
It was an unfortunate story that a child that got into a fire and was brain dead, and it was Daniel's age and exact match by blood type, and the parents were willing to give the liver.
I'll never forget meeting the mother. She told me that now Daniel is like her son, and they look so much alike.
He did great, but unfortunately after about a year, I started to feel bad. There's a rare complication. It's not so rare, it's like 10% of kids with after transplant that have some kind of lymphoma. Now he's after 5 months of chemotherapy, and last week he finished his chemotherapy.
I really want to go back to school, to my classroom, my friends, my teachers. I dream of someday being completely healthy and of being allowed to do everything I couldn't do while I was sick.
Any disease in a family is a crisis, no matter what, especially what Daniel went through. Part of the getting better is because his parents are so supportive and so positive, and without that, they wouldn't survive.
There is no place like Hadassah. I'm so happy that we came here. I applaud the doctors and the nurses. They're so patient, and they always have a smile for you, a kind word. They do their work from the heart.
When I grow up, I'd like to be a doctor, like Dr. Steyer, so I can save kids, just like he saved me.
Donating your body or your loved one's body saves lives.
So I promise he will be able to play soccer, so he hopefully, after now he finishes chemotherapy, hopefully now we can be able to play soccer again, go to school, be like a normal kid.